So your data, you up on the screen there, is coming from the CDC that's been caught lying since March? Are you kidding me? You expect the cases don't mean anything. People are asymptomatic walking around because they got tested positive for the Rona. That's a 50% fallibility rate for your tests. So I don't want to even hear from the Tulsa County Health Department. You guys lie. Okay. But no other American has the right to insist that I put anything on my body or do anything to restrict my freedom. If they felt like their face diapers work, then they should be happy there. Because they don't. There's a new Danish study that came out said face diapers don't do a thing, but you think you see that on the media anywhere? No. Nowhere. They don't work. And we don't really care. We're Americans. You can't tell us what to do. And this resolution is not going to make anybody happy from the left. The people that are scared are going to be scared. They don't care. And what about the businesses here? I mean, you're going to do this resolution. People are going to expect to see businesses in face diapers, and they're not going to have any. What about the tax revenue that Broken Arrow is bringing in right now because we have no masks? And Judge Napolitano said it best. He said, the Constitution is not suspended in the event of any pandemic. There is no constitutional basis to take away people's rights at all. So this resolution, I don't even know why we're beating this dead horse. Could we just put it away? You're the mayor. We have the First Amendment, and this is not right. We shouldn't even be discussing this anymore. The only way to make it stop is to say no and make it final.
The biggest problem is that there's obviously no science behind this. If there was, we would not even have this conversation. It would have started at the top, not at the state level, even, federal level, to say, hey, this is what happens, this is what you need to do, this is how we're going to take care of it. Now we're on this issue of wearing a mask. Some of them, you can even wear a handkerchief or a face mask that hangs off your face that there's no seal there. I don't know how that even comes into play. But so if there was the science that have it out there, now it's all opinion.
I honestly wanted to wait and see. Let's see what happens when people have the option to wear a mask and whether or not it helps. Because if it does or has no impact, then what's the point in bringing it up to the city council and wasting your time? Unfortunately, the top 10 states with the most COVID cases per 100,000, 7 of them had no mask mandate prior to November 1st. 3 of those 7 have now issued a mask mandate. There's some scientific data right there that shows masks do work, whether you believe it or not.
Just be back here, spent a ton of my time, most of my time in Los Angeles, and boy, am I glad I am out of that hellhole. Woo! And yeah, and speaking of California and Los Angeles, I almost feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone. I thought I moved back to Tulsa, but that's kind of gotten with Bynum. It's a little bit like the Twilight Zone, right? But where is all this, if they tell us to follow the science, yet there's so much science telling us that masks, not, like the Danish study, it doesn't work. I'm sorry, but it just doesn't work. Not only does it not work, but unfortunately, while you're breathing in that mask, you're not nourishing your immune system. You're harming your body. All right? And how could anybody suggest that we do that to ourselves, and especially to our children? It's demoralizing. Our children are not being given that opportunity to see our smiling faces. That's how they learn. That's how they develop. That's how they understand life. But no, just because a couple of elite globalists at the World Health Organization demanded, because of this fake study that was first, released, which was a stupid, dumb study. What is it called, from the Cambridge, whatever that was? But anyway, so this is how this whole thing started. It was a fake study, fake science, fear porn, fear, we're all going to die, okay? Well, guess what, folks? Now the CDC has come out with a, I'm sorry, I get a little passionate. The CDC came out, and remember they said that those deaths were including all the comorbidities, right? So, and then they said only 6% of those people died of COVID. So what are we a serious, we cannot be dominated by the world globalists that do have an agenda. I'm sorry. I mean, it's just digital currency and all that other garbage. If they can keep us all locked down in fear and huddled in our little houses, beating up each other, then the world globalists get to have their way with us. Well, look, I'm a daughter of the American Revolution. I love my nation. I love God. I love America. I love Broken Arrow. And Mayor, we have an opportunity. You are that shining city on a hill.
I hate to see in my heart and all these praying for these preachers in Tulsa when they do stuff. They're getting death threats because they have a concert or something, and it's happening more and more. I dang sure don't want that to happen over in my church where I go to church at. Where I can't go to church and go worship Jesus Christ. I'm not scared of this stuff. I think it's fake. I don't think the masks work. There is no scientific evidence. I think it's, y'all know what's going on with our biggest election, all this stuff. It's all part of that. It's all part of that. It's the Antichrist spirit. It's a spirit of the enemy coming against the Christians.